All right, guys, welcome to another live stream. Welcome to another live stream. The markets look like they're about to turn around. If you take a look at Bitcoin, we reached over 60K. I think we're at 63,000. And we'll take a look here at the overall markets. But it looks like we are about to get into some rallies. So let me share my screen. Give me just a sec. All right. All right. So yeah, the first thing I do, I take a look here because I haven't got a chance to look at the news on Yahoo Finance. All right, so it says Powell provides another signal of inflation confidence. So yeah, that's one of the things that people are looking forward to are these rate cuts, and it looks like these rate cuts are going to take place in September, the first rate cut. So it's very positive for the market. Again, remember when the Fed cuts rates, people are able to start borrowing again at without paying a lot of interest on the debt that they take out. So it just encourages them to borrow more, which in turn brings a lot of revenue for their company, and then in turn increase stock price. So yeah, states to slash spending at fastest pace since Great Recession. I'm not sure what that's about. It's a Bloomberg article. It's a state slash spending at fastest pace since Great Recession. I wonder if they're talking about the companies or the actual people that run the state. It says AutoNation warns of major hit to earnings from hack. Also, AutoNation got hacked. Musk says he requested extra time for design change to Robo Taxi. But it says Tesla's up 1.78%. And again, for Tesla, everybody's waiting on this Robo Taxi thing. This is essentially what's going to cause the stock price to get moving. Now, obviously, interest rate cuts will have an effect on Tesla or just all technology stocks, all growth stocks. But again, the company still needs to have some substance. It still needs to, you know, generate a lot of revenue for the price to go up. Now, again, they can do that with selling Teslas. Obviously, that's the main thing they do. But I think after a while, they're going to have to come up with some new avenues where they can generate some more money, because you got to look at the EV space as a whole. Every car manufacturer is coming out with an EV car, right? If you look at Lexus, if you look at Toyota, if you look at Ford, all the car companies, all the car brands are coming out with their own EV, and people don't want to be driving the same car as everybody. Like if you go on the road, almost everybody has a Tesla 3 model. Now I think to a point, people just want what works. Everybody has an Apple phone, right? And nobody really cares that you have the same phone as somebody else. But I think there's not. If you look at the iPhone, what else is there to compare it to? Maybe something from Google, a Samsung phone. But if you don't have an Apple phone, you typically have some type of Samsung, some type of Google phone. So for cars, it's a little bit different, because if you don't go with Tesla, you still have Kia, you still have Toyota, you still have Honda, you have Lexus, you have, and a few others. So you have more options opposed to the phone, where it's more of a monopoly. There's just two people in the space that can provide you, a phone. So yeah, I think I think this robo taxi thing is a hit to Tesla, depending on the time. Did he say what time, like the amount of time they're gonna need, compared to when they said? I think they've been promising this for a while. Or they've been promising full self-driving for a while, but this would be inclusive, I guess, of the robo-taxi, because if you would need full self-driving to have a robo-taxi. So it says Tesla on Monday signaled the automaker would take more time to unveil its robotaxi so it can incorporate an important design change to the front of the vehicle and show off some other things. Musk did not disclose when the automaker would hold an event to launch this robotaxi, so it's to be determined, right? So they didn't even push out a date. They say it's because of the front of the vehicle and to show off some other things. I think it's probably because of the technology, and they want to make sure that it's working appropriately. I think they rolled it out in China, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah. But it looks like the stock is up 1.78%. If we go to Tesla, it's 252. So it did take a hit, actually. So it's 264 down to 252. So is it up for... Okay, so it went up. It started around the 250s. Or what is this? Close, 253. For me, it looks like it's down. It's going to be down for the day pretty soon. And then if we look at the 5-day, it's been going up. 6 months. Okay. Yeah, I mean, for the most part, it's doing well, but we'll see. It just depends on when they release this. Is it just a change to the design of the front of the car, or are they having trouble with the actual software with the robo-taxi? Who knows? All right, let's go back to the front page. Why billionaire backing Trump won't put his over the top. Goldman Sachs surge 150%. All right, so let's look at the overall markets. So the S&P is up, the Dow's up, NASDAQ is up, Russell is up. Crude oil is down. Gold is up. All right, so overall markets look pretty good. Yeah, overall markets look pretty good. Sorry, I was looking at something else. For stocks and equities, let's look at the crypto market. We could go to crypto here. Yeah, so this is what bounced. So I was talking last week in one of the live streams that Bitcoin was sitting, I think it was at 56, 57. It might have even went a little bit lower, and now we're over 60. All right, so if we go to the price, let's look at where it was. Five-day. This is 5-day. Okay. Yeah, it was at 57. I was telling people, like, this dip is just a shakeout dip. This dip is not anything substantial, anything to worry about if you're a crypto investor. Typically, like, it's 2 to 3 months after the halving that Bitcoin typically sees like a cool off period, and yeah, it's typically give me just a sec. Typically, it's typically a cool off period. Sorry, I was answering something. Yeah, it's typically a cool off period from here. When it was at 57K, I was saying that it's just going to be dipping for a little bit and it'll bounce back. And look, we're at 64,000. So yeah, I think right now, we could potentially dip back down in the high 50s. But it's getting real bullish. Like I said, sorry, again, I'm answering some stuff. We're getting close to the rate cuts, right? That's one. And then two, And then two, again, we had the halvening, right? You have to count. The halvening happened in April, and people forget about it, right? So the Bitcoin supply was cut in half, and that basically cuts the amount of Bitcoin that can go to the market. Now, again, you don't really see that price effect immediately, and I think that's what gets people confused. They're like, oh, they said they were going to cut the supply to the market in half, but the price is not shooting up like it used to. But if you go back to the each of the halvenings, it's always a close to a 3 to 4 month period before you start to see the price rise, right? And we're already, I think we're in April. I think it happened in the middle of April. So we had June. Yeah, middle of April, May, June, and we're in July, right? So we're coming up close to 4 months after the halvening. So I think this bounce back is significant. We could see a breach. We could see a breach above the all-time highs, 74, 75K, I think it is. Yeah, I think, well, it's going to be very bullish from here. Again, halvening, rate cuts, and they're saying that some banks are predicting that we're going to have multiple rate cuts, multiple rate cuts this year. So maybe like 2 to 3. And then going into 2025, we're probably going to have 3 or 4 more rate cuts, right? So 2025 is going to be very bullish. The third and fourth quarter of 2024 is going to be very bullish. So it's going to be exciting to see what the crypto market does. Let's take a look at some other stuff too. So you see Ethereum popping up. It's 3,400. Oh, and the Ethereum ETF is most likely going to get approved. I think some other people submitted their S1 forms, and that's very bullish. But again, some people are saying it might get delayed. So who knows? But that's definitely going to come hopefully by the end of this year. They might, if they stall on those, it's probably going to be until the end of the year, and probably go into the time where they're going to do the rate cuts. So yeah, I think I still think altcoins are on sale. A lot of them are. They did do a bounce back. We saw an average of like 5 to 7% across all altcoins. And you typically see that when Bitcoin bounces back. Remember, we had 57, so now we're at 63. So yeah, altcoins have bounced back. They are thinking about doing some ETFs for all other altcoins as well, other than Ethereum. They already did it for BTC. So a lot of positive stuff coming down the pipeline. Let me go right here. Yeah, so a lot of positive stuff coming down the pipeline. Bitcoin at 63. The rate cuts, and potentially some additional ETFs getting approved. They were talking about Solana. There's a lot of talks that Solana might get their ETF approved, but who knows? But again, this is a time, I think after July, going into August, I think your opportunity to get into some of these positions is going to start to fade as we get closer to the end of the year. So my opinion is, if you want to start a position, you should start looking at your options now, and don't wait until August, right? I think in August, we're going to see huge pumps when it comes to price, especially in the crypto market. I think we're going to see a lot of like 3 to 5X's in the next month or so. And if you don't position yourself now, you're going to miss out on that. And again, remember, these cycles only happen every 4 years, right? So if you miss this crypto bull run, I don't think it's going to be as severe, the bear market once we get into it, which I think is probably going to take place towards the end of 2025, going into 2026. You're going to have to wait another 3 to 4 years to see any type of significant gains. Obviously, institutional investors are in the space now, so maybe the price doesn't crash. But then again, that also destroys an opportunity for you, because if the prices don't crash as bad in the bear market that comes like in 2026, you're not going to have opportunity to get in at those low prices at the bear market. So this could potentially be the last bull market to take advantage of these low prices. But that's it. That's all I had to say. Again, make sure you guys follow me on Instagram, Mr. Financial Nutrition. Follow me on TikTok, Financial Nutrition. I post Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday, 6 p.m. during the week, and then around 11 to 12 on Sunday. But yeah, if you're not following me on those platforms, go follow me, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.